Let's see here. Veronica will be joining at, just making sure we're live here. You guys hear me? See me? Let's see. Let's see here. Now let me turn volume down here. All right. Veronica will be live at 6:30 with us. How have you guys how has your guys' week been? Hi, my babies are my ones. Hi, amputee. Let's see who else is in here. I got my other phone to be able to read the chat better. We have Wolfie. Hi, Wolfie. Amputee. Christy. Hi, Christy Davy. How are you doing? Um, Kira Indigo. Hello, dear. So today in this live, we're going to be going over, I'll show you here. We're going to be going, it's Beyond the Veil with Becca and Veronica. Today, I have a little presentation for you guys. It's the empath, going over a little bit more of empaths because going over it, I seem to have a lot of empaths. You guys, there seems to be a lot of empaths that that are attracted to my channel and to this series. So I wanted to bring more information about empaths. We're also going to be going over narcissists and how empaths and people who are highly intuitive or psychic, whatever you want to classify it, we have a tendency to attract empaths, and there's a reason for it. And then we're going to be going over first, we're going to start out with animal psychics, because that was the next one that was really requested, was in this series, in this live today. We're going to be going over animal psychics. And then we're going to be going over monitoring spirits, which are watcher spirits. So Veronica should be joining here soon. Hi, Gary or Grace 911. Love and blessings to you as well. So how have you all been? We were supposed to go live yesterday, but my sister Veronica, she has a cold. So it's your first time here, Gary. Well, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy the live. I hope you enjoy the series. So again, we're just gonna wait for my sister to get here. It's chilly. I always wear my sweater because I'm always cold, and it is cold where we managed to get a cold spell where I live. I'm just waiting to see how everyone's doing. Next week's live, me and my sister, we're gonna be together on the same camera, and then I'm gonna be have Zach come on, because the next week's live, we're gonna be going over seers, remote viewers, all those things. So next week, Zach is gonna be on as well. So me and my sister will be on. Hi, Lori Lynn. We'll be on the same camera, and then I'll share the link with Zach, because again, I'm trying to get StreamYard, but every time I try, I don't know if I just need a new laptop or what, but every time I try to get StreamYard going, it freezes, it does something funny, which for some of you guys, you'll understand why some of this stuff happens to you, where you have complications. I'm going to be showing you guys that information in today's presentation. Looking forward. Hope your sister feels better. Yeah, she's still a little sick, but it's not as bad as yesterday. My babies are very awesome. Zach will be on. Haven't seen him in a couple of Zach hasn't been on in a couple of days, or you just haven't seen? Hi, Laurel. Let me want this to go vertically. Hang on. You're good but tired, Kara Indigo. Lori Lynn. Yeah, Laurel, hi. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. If you guys could hit that thumbs up for me. If you are on the live, the vertical, like on your phone, you guys can just double tap the screen and it will hit the thumbs up button for me. Got 36 people in here this evening. I hope you all are having a fantastic Saturday evening. Again, I hope here comes my sister. Here she is. Let's see. I did add her. There she is. Hi, how are you doing, Veronica? Can you hear us?
Hello. Hello, I can, yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a minute to say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Everyone's
Sorry I'm
excited.
late. Lily is my bearded dragon and her hammock came and I was setting it up.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hi, Christy. Hi, my babies. And also I'm sick again.
Oh, I told them already.
I am ready for this stinking winter to move on.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, she has a son that's still in school and
Hi, amputee.
everyone's sick. There's always a kid sick at school.
Mm-hmm. Always. All the time.
So I just kind of gave them a brief rundown of what we are going to be going over in this series today. So I will flip my camera around. Let's see here. Old Garden Gal says, hi, Becca. Hope Veronica's a bit better. Yeah, I mean, she's still sick. Hi, Opal. How are you doing, dear? Okay, so I'm going to flip my camera around. All right. So just give me a second to... Okay, let me zoom in so you guys can see it better. Is that good, Veronica, or is it?
No, nope. Out a little bit more. There you go.
There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Are you done reading the chat, Veronica? I can get started.
Kara said your last video had me thinking of any moments I had that showed me I had experience of psychic or other moments. Hi Opal. I think so. I think I caught hi old garden gal. I think I caught up with everybody.
I got amputee for life. Jamie's in. We got a newcomer, Gary for Grace 911. He's new. He's excited for the series, The Live. All right, okay, so I'm going to start the presentation here for you guys, okay? So again, we have Beyond the Veil with Becca and Veronica, Empaths, Narcissists, Monitoring Demons, and Animal Psychics. It's going to first start off with Animal Psychics, okay? Animal Psychics. Spiritual animal communication signs include seeing repeating animals or symbols, experiencing vivid dreams or visions, sensing animals in your peripheral vision, hearing familiar sounds like a meow or a jingle, noticing specific smells, feeling sudden emotional shifts, receiving unexpected gifts, having strong intuition about animals' needs, and understanding animal behavior without words. These signs often feel personally meaningful, confronting, and repetitive, suggesting a deeper spiritual message rather than mere coincidence. Now, I did put something in here for you guys. It's the heart-to-heart connection with animals. And it's a way for you, even if you don't think you are an animal psychic or anything like that. I did this with my pets. I do it with Lily, just because she's new and I want her to, anytime I come see her at my sister's, I want her to really truly feel my emotion. And my sister can attest that my little niece, little bearded dragon I just love her so much. But so waiting.
We know it's a boy as of yesterday.
I know. Okay. So, oh boy, I don't know. I'm still calling her a girl, but okay. So rest your hands on your heart and breathe gently in and out. Once you are feeling relaxed in your body, drop your attention down to your heart and feel your love for your animal or the animal you wish to connect with. Express your heart's love to the animal, which you can also visualize as a soft beam of light connecting you to them. So visualizing a soft beam of light coming from you and going to the animal you're wanting to connect with. Silently or vocally ask the animal for permission to communicate with them. If you don't feel or sense any resistance, start expressing yourself to them and be open to anything you receive in return. Keep it light at the beginning and progress to deeper inquiry as you increase trust and confidence. Can you read the chat, Veronica, as I'm doing this, just so I know? Laura Lynn says, I know I ask you and then I go and do it anyways. I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
We talked about this last time. She's like, take care of the chat. And then she does it. I'm like, I can't do it if you're already doing it. Opal said, super happy you're both on this evening, doing good. My Lori Lynn, my cat knew I was coming for him. Yeah.
Nice. All right. We're going to go on to the next one. And this is the different signs, okay? 9 signs you may be an animal psychic. 1, you love being around animals, okay? 1, synchronistic animal encounters, repeatedly seeing the same animal in life, media, or thoughts, or specific symbols, feathers, certain numbers, significant messages. 2, vivid dreams and meditation, okay? Animals appearing in clear, meaningful dreams or meditations, bringing peace or guidance, often signal a higher level of connection. According to Serenity Intuitive. Okay, this is where I put in links so you guys didn't think I was just making this stuff all up. 3,
Oh,
peripheral.
quick! Sorry to interrupt you, but can you put this document like in a post or something? Because I don't know if people want to like after the live want to actually read through it. I don't know if that's something you can do.
Yeah,
But
I can link it. I can link. Thank you, amputee.
Thank you, amputee.
Yes, I can link it to the live.
Well, so
I can link the document to the live so they can go in and read it for themselves. So we went over vivid dreams, peripheral vision sightings, catching glimpses of animals. I can also move, hang on, give me 1 second. I will move this closer so you guys can see it better. So let me I'm gonna go off camera just for a second, Veronica. So if you would like to chat for just a second. Okie dokie, because I want to make sure you guys can
Yeah, I
see
don't
it.
know because we got a lot of she puts these all together because there's a lot of writing just in case they want to like go back through. You're not gonna get it like perfect,
no.
so I would leave it that way and then just put a link in later.
Yeah,
We
I'll put
don't
a link
pre-plan
in.
these things, as you can see.
No, I'll put a link in later. And again, I don't have StreamYard. Again, I've been really trying really hard to get StreamYard to work, but it's just not wanting to work. I don't know if I need a, like I said, new laptop or if it's something with StreamYard. Okay.
No,
Thank
it's
you,
the laptop she has doesn't have the best processor, and StreamYard is a pretty large piece of.
Jane Tree member for 1 month. Thank you, Jane Tree. Okay. Love you too, Jane Tree.
Oh, Christy, yours laid eggs. I mean, I think, but you're not supposed to be able to see until they're a little bit bigger. I think it's maybe like a couple months old. We got it from the pet store, and it wasn't like a hatchling, but it's a baby.
Oh, Covert, you're in here. Hi, Covert. All right.
Covert. So we're late. I was late. Covert, don't worry. I just had to hit join.
So then we have, okay, so 3 peripheral vision settings. I'll just link this to the live, you guys, if you want to go back so that we can download it or read it. Again, it's just a presentation I made for you guys to try to bring you guys as much information and clarity as possible. So again, peripheral vision sightings, catching glimpses of animals, especially a deceased pet in your side vision, is a common way spirits get your attention. Okay, then we have 4 sensory messages, smell/sound as well. Smelling a familiar scent like a deceased pet's smell or hearing their distinct sounds. Collar jingle, meow, etc. signals their presence. Okay, says medium and learn religious articles. 5, intuitive understanding and empathy. You just know what an animal needs or feels without them vocalizing it, sensing their energy or thoughts. Okay, note your tango.
Kara sent I don't know what this is, but Kara sent to Becca's True Crime Tarot gift memberships.
Yeah, she's gifted a membership, so that will be sent to um one of
Oh,
the members will receive one of my view not members. Let me slow my brain down. Thank you, Jane Tree, so much. You watch every one of my readings. It's not Jane Tree, it's Janie, not Janie, not Janie. Thanks, Janie. I see what you're saying. Not Janie, not Janie. That's hilarious, Janie. And I know where you're going with it. Um, but okay, where was I? So,
you were talking about what the true crime gift memberships is.
yes, one of my subscribers will receive that membership. Okay.
Aw,
Yeah.
nice. That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Lori Lynn got the membership. Oh, yay, Lori
Nice.
Lynn.
Nice.
One day I'll get better at understanding all this, but I just show up. So
Thank you,
sorry I keep
Lori, for
interrupting
becoming a
you.
member. This one is big, you guys. Number 6. 5 and 6 are very big. It's just the understanding or knowing what an animal needs without them vocalizing it. You're sensing their energy, you're sensing their thoughts. Number 6 is unusual animal behavior. Animals acting out of character around you or bring you unexpected gifts, toys, food, etc. Shows deep trust and connection. And that it's reported by Your Tango and other sources. And in here, I have the link to the other sources. We have number 7, strong gut feelings and urge, a powerful intuition or urge to go somewhere or do something, possibly guided by an animal spirit. Okay. And then that says explained on a Facebook post. Number 8, emotional shifts, sudden feelings of joy, love, or peace that align with an animal's energy. So whatever the animal's feeling, doing, you're all of a sudden feeling the same way. Indicates a spiritual presence that's mentioned in a Facebook post. And then number 9, objects appearing / moving, an animal's collar, toy, or other related items appearing in unexpected places, noted by learned religions. All right. Hi, Marianne. So then we're going to go any questions about the animals psychics, you guys? Because I'm going to move on to the next. Next, we're going to be going into empath stuff. This isn't a very long presentation, but I just wanted to, there's a lot you guys want us to discuss, and this was one of the big topic ones, was the connecting with animals. And I would just suggest, I'm going to go back here where I'll link this, is the heart-to-heart connection with animals. Try this, connecting with your animal or an animal, even a deceased animal, just visualize them, okay, in your mind here. And but just try it. There's nothing wrong with trying that. Okay, so next we have the Heoka empath, okay? The Heoka is the most rarest type of empath there is, okay? So for all of you empaths out there, okay, the Heoka empath is the most rarest, okay? And I wanted to touch on this for you guys because, again, I seem to have a lot of empaths, okay, that follow my channel, or part of my channel or watch my videos, okay? So as a Heoka empath, it is a powerful spiritual archetype from the Sioux tradition, okay, presenting it as a sacred clown or jester who uses reverse psychology, humor, and unconventional actions like doing things backward to mirror others, hidden truths, and provoke healing, growth, and new perspectives, often by disrupting comfort zones and challenging norms, okay? So with the Heoka, they use humor. So I presented this to my sister. I said, "Hey, maybe you're a Heoka." And she's like, "Don't you dare bring that up." I said, "Okay, I
And
won't."
here we are. And
And
here
here
we
we
are.
are.
Bringing it up. Okay. I don't know if I'm an empath. I mean, I don't know. I think amputee watched our last one. We went over. There's like a whole section for if you have signs of
Yeah,
being an empath, but there's different levels to it. I mean, I
yeah,
might be. I do a lot of humor.
you do. You do a lot of humor. She's very. I mean, and anytime I seem to be like really, and part of that is our sisterly connection as well, though. Like I think Like, we were just discussing today, I'm like, she's like, "You are not a good secret keeper." We were watching, part of Sunny's live.
Terrible.
We were watching part of Sunny's live, and
Mhm.
she's just I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes people tell Sunny things in confidentiality, and she doesn't tell other people." And I said, "I don't tell other people when um people talk to me about things." And she's like, "You're a horrible secret keeper." I said, "I know I'm a horrible secret keeper, but if someone asks me to not say anything, I won't say anything." She says, "Unless it comes to family." I said, "It's because I think that you can read my mind, and I'm going to tell you because I really hate being dishonest. I really do. And then I feel like if I don't tell her the whole truth, I'm like the type of person, I'm like, say the whole truth and nothing but the truth." When I come to my sister, it's just like,
And we didn't even ask questions though. She'll just come out with it. And then she's like, but don't tell anyone that I wasn't supposed to tell you. I'm like, well, here we are. You're telling me.
yeah, yeah.
It's
So we'll go more into okay. So as the Heyoka empath, they absorb and reflect others' pain,
having me.
acting as emotional mirrors to help people evolve and see themselves more clearly, often through satire or seemingly inappropriate behavior with pure intentions. That's the key. It's pure intentions. There's no manipulation, no malicious intent behind it. It's truly pure, unconditional wanting to help someone. So then the next one we have, so that's the Heyoka. I really don't go too much into the different types, but I just wanted to bring them to you because I know some, you guys have other trying to place what you trying to figure out your ability. People like to put labels to things. The next rarest type of empath is the super empath, okay? This is the second rarest type of empath. A super empath is an extremely rare, highly sensitive person who deeply feels others' emotions and physical sensations, often described as an empath with the volume turned up, sometimes possessing abilities like mere touch synesthesia. Okay. So like that's like where in medical terms, it's like where people the word synesthesia is like where people when they see a color they may hear a sound, but they're using it in reference to the super empath is like you're legitimately feeling someone else touch something. Okay. Feeling others touch is your own or an intuitive healing, but can easily become overwhelmed and must learn intense boundary setting to differentiate their feelings from others and use their gift constructively rather than just absorbing negativity. So, as you can see, this is a super empath here. So, I think most of you guys who are empaths can attest to the fact that if you walk into a very crowded room, this happens to you guys, right? Some more than others, but if you are a super empath, you are going to absorb every single person's emotions in that room. Okay. You're going to pick up on everything. And even if you are just not a super empath, you're still going to pick up on it, but it's not as intense. Laurel Lynn says, I feel others' illnesses. Yeah. Yeah. I would, Laurel Lynn, then yeah, you're a super empath. But you would know. I mean, what do you think? You're the empath, Veronica. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this one, I would say, like for like you can either physically feel like somebody's pain.
Yeah,
Like
that happens
I
to me.
can't watch people get hurt because I'll literally feel it like
Yeah.
in that part of my body, and it'll make me like want to pass out. So like you'll see the videos of people falling or even the picture she put up last time of and this can happen on different levels of
Mhm.
um you can have different levels of this. It's not like you must feel everybody's pain, or so you can do it on an emotional level, a physical level. Lori,
Mhm.
like kind of what you're talking about, where you can feel when somebody's sick, or how they're feeling while they're sick. So yeah, it can. Hi, Toronto Cat. So it's multiple levels. This one,
And the real takeaway here is what I want is because the next slides we're gonna go into, I think you guys may all really connect with and understand. there's a reason I put these slides in the way I did, is especially if you're a super empath, there's a really strong need for you guys to set very strong boundaries, okay? Even if you're an empath, very strong need to, you guys need to set very good boundaries with people. And the reason why here is, I'm going to get to the next slide. It's very, very important, not just for empaths, for every single individual in life, along with people who have intuitive abilities, because there's a reason. It's the narcissist, okay? And I've been really thinking about this and studying the I've been studying narcissistic behavior for a while, because I have dealt with my own narcissist. I have all those things. But I do think that the reason the narcissistic personality traits have been coming out and more people have been talking about it in the last 10 years, okay, is because I think it's a way to help the empaths, the people who have intuition, who have abilities, because now it's being brought to light, okay? And so now the empaths, the intuitives, the people who are gifted have a chance here, right? To start using their gifts, right, to help uplift humanity, right? Heal humanity, because that's ultimately what we're here for. So I believe that all these things are kind of starting to fall into place where now it's kind of like the empaths, the intuitives, psychics, whatever it is, it's our chance now to be like where we can actually start helping heal humanity. But the narcissistic relationship is what we're going to be going over in these next slides. Okay. So again, guard your energy. Do not share your energy with narcissists. Okay. Why narcissists are drawn to empaths: emotional supply. Narcissists need consistent admiration and attention, and empaths provide it selflessly. Becoming emotional sponges that feed their ego, explains Business Insider and YouTube. So, again, this is not just me making this up. We have Business Insider and YouTube, also speaking of this. Control and exploitation. Empaths' giving nature makes them easy targets for manipulation and control, fulfilling the narcissist's need to dominate, states Business Insider, YouTube, and create the love. Okay. Those are the different, also different. The next one here, okay, I'm going to go to is, okay, empaths and psychics attract narcissists because empaths' deep, caring nature and desire to heal/fix others perfectly meets the narcissist's need for supply and validation. While narcissists often project a charming, wounded facade that appeals to the empath's compassionate instincts, creating a toxic cycle of giving and taking, notes Psychology Today, Brittany Carmichael, and Birch Counseling. The empath's ability to absorb emotions makes them ideal emotional sponges for the narcissist, who seeks control and attention, leading to exploitation, while the empath often misinterprets the narcissist's neediness as a chance to save them, explains Business Insider, and Medium. So again, I just put a few little things in here: set boundaries, make yourself a priority, and being an empath or even just being a kind, caring person, okay, who really truly loves humanity and helping people, we have a hard time making ourselves a priority. Okay, I know, I do. What
I was
did we
gonna
miss?
say all these can just be also applied to
Yes,
people that maybe don't
right.
identify as an empath in general. These are good rule of thumb when you're dealing
Yeah.
with people.
Yes. You're watching the chat, right, Veronica?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lori said she gave up on relationships because of this. Amputee said, Jane, I don't blame you. So,
What did Janie say?
it's Jane, not Janie.
Sorry, Jane.
She
No,
just
it's
said that.
Janie.
I don't think so.
Janie,
Jane.
is it Janie or Jane?
She said it's not Janie, not Janie. Jane.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, thank you for correcting me. Okay, so read the
Maybe
red
tell
flag.
us which one is right, and then we'll know it for sure. Is
I'm
Veronica right or is Becca right?
yeah,
Amputee for life. Toronto Cat. I said hello to Toronto Cat. If I
yeah.
didn't, I did in my mind. Hello again.
Hello,
I got
hello.
brain fog. galore here. Yeah, we're
Okay,
caught up on the chat.
so then I have read the red flags. Why empaths are drawn to narcissists. So we always have to be reading the red flags, okay? There is the strong desire to heal. Empaths feel strong urge to fix others' pain, and narcissists present themselves as broken or wounded souls in need of saving, says Brittany Carmichael, YouTube, and LynnCatanelano.com. Okay, seeing potential. Empaths often see the good in people and believe they can bring out the narcissist's true, better self, overlooking red flags, according to that same website. And then misinterpreting vulnerability. Covert narcissists. Covert, we're not speaking of you, dear. But covert narcissists, and this is the big one, is determining a covert narcissist versus just a regular narcissist versus, there's just so many different, but regular narcissist is more out there in your face, right? Covert is it's hidden, right? They do things in a very particular manipulative way. So covert narcissists in particular can seem insecure, drawing in empaths who mistake their self absorption for genuine neediness, notes YouTube. And that's the thing with narcissists. Part of narcissist problem is one thing with narcissists, and this is true across the whole board, it doesn't matter what type of narcissist they are extremely insecure individuals. Becca, my babies are my ones. Becca and Veronica, you didn't not see Janie's last few comments. No, we didn't. It's not Janie, not
Yeah,
Janie.
that's what I was saying. It's Jane.
With a Y in the middle. Okay, thanks, Jane. Sorry. Okay, Veronica, you were right.
Thank you.
Point one to you. I'm just
Are
kidding.
we keeping score? Absolutely. We always keep score.
Laurel says I was married to one and nearly lost my mind. Yes. Yes. They have you
Hi,
second
Laurel.
guessing reality massively. Second guessing reality. Like it's a brief. I didn't really go to this, but again, this leads into other things that we're going to be going into. So then the next is the toxic inheritance, the black cord attachments. Okay. Narcissistic parent or parents or close family member. Again, for some of you, not all of you, some of you, you will know if this applies to you. It's part of your soul's lesson. This also is part of a monitoring spirit. Okay. Empaths and psychics often grow up with narcissistic parents, or families, close bond with a family member. As a survival mechanism, developing heightened intuition, observation skills, and people pleasing tendencies to navigate the unpredictable, emotional, volatile environment, essentially becoming hyper tuned to the parents or family, whatever it may be, moods and needs to avoid abuse and seek validation. The hypervigilance, a form of trauma response, teaches them to read subtle cues and absorbs others' feelings to stay safe, sometimes leading to codependency, while their innate sensitivity gets amplified in these challenging dynamics. And with this one, the reason this is part of your soul's lesson is because you were born with something and something that you needed is that you have something within you that needs to be shared with people to help humanity. Okay. So people who are psychic or empaths, whatever it may be, um, some of you guys may be born into either having a parent who is a narcissist or someone who's very close to your family that is a narcissist, and as a young person, a young child, you have to deal with them, and it is a way for you to have to learn, right? This is not right, but it also helps you develop your ability. For some odd reason, it helps you develop your, it's not odd, but it helps you develop your ability. Thank you, Jane.
Toronto Cat said, "Oh my, this is true. My father was a narcissist, and that my first marriage was too." And then also said, I was 16 when I met him, so didn't know any different. Married at 18, and was with him
Oh,
for
wow.
22 years. Wow.
That's insane. I mean, I'm
My
actually kind of
mother,
same
Lori
boat with
Lynn said
you.
my mother.
Yeah.
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 I mean, unfortunately, that's just Unfortunately or fortunate, I like to think of all the things that I've gone through just as lessons. I mean,
Yeah.
it's my way to cope with things and just accept them, but, you know,
Yeah.
we all have our lessons to learn, and apparently
But
for
as we go into the
empaths, this
next
is one of them.
right. As we go into the next slide, though, you are going to see where this becomes a soul lesson, okay? Because it does help develop your ability even further, okay? Um, so the next one is, and I was just giggling because Jane said, "Yeah, good. I don't want to be Janie Crusty Kickers." That's why I was giggling. Covert, hi, Covert, dear. It is sickening
She
what they do. Oh, I'll let you read it.
Nope, you go ahead, you take that one.
Thanks. It is sickening what they do to people. I figured I was some kind of lesson for me. You figured it was some kind of lesson for you. Your sister is one, and you've had a few in your life, but only started learning about this in the past 3 years. Yeah, 3 years ago. Hmm. So, Covert, I guarantee you have some sort of empathic ability or an intuitive ability. Toronto Cat, this is the best part of my life, though. I have now been married to the husband of for 32 years, and what a big difference. All 5 of your children consider. Aw, that's gonna make me, oh, that's so sweet. So it is possible to find love after I can tell you 100% I had a narcissistic husband. Still ex-husband, no. But I can tell you even after we were, and just so you guys can understand, even after we were divorced, it was like he was still trying to run my life and like mm, and he just like makes up these bizarre lies and these things that make absolute no sense. And I'm like, but then like contacting my family and contacting my friends and it's just, and he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. It's crazy. But I am glad to see, Toronto Cat, that there can be love after with a true good human being after being with a narcissistic as a husband. Kira Indigo, a good book you recommend is Emotional Vampires by Albert Bernstein. Okay, I'll look that up. I love to read. I like to read. So, Toronto amputee says that's good. Toronto Cat, yeah. Janie says my second husband was one charged with. Oh my God, was charged with attempted murder. And won't go into it, but it was bad and changed my name and moved 250 miles away. Wow, Jane. Toronto Cat says absolutely yes. Here's it too. He needed to have control. We just didn't allow it anymore. Yeah. Covert. Your ex did that as well. Now I just don't go anywhere. Well, see, I won't let anyone have control over me like that.
You need to get Jane's name right.
Do I keep calling her? I'm sorry, Jane.
You keep
Jane?
calling her Janie. Jane.
Jane, Jane, Jane,
Jane.
Jane, Jane, Jane. You know what that bring? You know why? You know why? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a silly story, but it will give you it'll give you a insight into my personality and like how I really don't like doing things wrong. And I've been like that. So I went to a Catholic school when I was like I went to lived in a small town,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you guys ever read the Jane and Dick book series, right? But as a kid, I was in second grade, and we were doing our lessons on this book, right? And I had a nun. I went to a Catholic school, and I had a nun for a second grade teacher, and we were reading the Dick and Jane series book or whatever, and she had all the vocabulary written on the chalkboard. And it was my turn to read out the vocabulary words, and okay, I'm in second grade, so I'm like 8 years old, guys, right? And I'm reading through the vocabulary words and we get to the word DICK, right? And I'm like, she's like pointing at it. I wouldn't say it. I'm not kidding you guys. She made me get out of my desk, go up to the chalkboard, and I have a twin. So he was in the same class as me. And at this point, he's like, has his hand on his forehead. He's covering his head, like, oh my
You
God. But
didn't realize that it was also a name?
right. No, I didn't realize that Dick was a name, you guys. I didn't realize it. I have my nun teacher saying, say this word. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a really naughty word. I'm not gonna say it. And She literally called my mom in from work. She had me standing up there for 45 minutes. I refused to say it too. And my twin brother's just sitting there with his hand over his forehead, like, I know why my sister's not saying this word, but no, he didn't say nothing. And then my mom comes in, walks through the door, sees the word, and she's like, she just shook her head, pulled the teacher to the side, told her why I wouldn't say it, and then she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, it's just a name." I'm like, "Okay, well, I think of that as a naughty word, and I'm not supposed to say naughty words." So for 45 minutes, I held up my class. Yeah, it was, I stood there and I took it, and she got so mad at me. The nun, she got so mad at me. She's like, "Why won't you say this word?" Because she's like, she made me even spell it out. I spelt it out, but I wouldn't say it. She's like, "Do you know the letters?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, and she would point at the letter, and she pointed at the D. I said, "D." And she pointed at the I said, "I." And I mean, I wasn't being like, I wasn't being stubborn. I just knew it was a naughty word.
She was
Well,
being
back then,
stubborn because she thought it was a naughty word and
yeah,
she didn't want to get in trouble.
yeah. I also have a twin brother, but I mean, it was. I'm like, well, I didn't know it was the name. And then they went, and we have family, like we have family that's named Richard, like Rich or Richard, and we never call him that. But then like the one girl, like we had a girl in my class, and she's like, "Oh, we call my Uncle Richard that all the time." I'm like, "Well, I have a cousin that's named Richard, and we don't call him that. We call him Rich."
Claire,
Laurel, you would have said it. I was not saying it. Nope. I was like, absolutely not. My mom's like, it was funny. She's like, I don't know why this. I mean, we do know why she didn't realize it was a sassy word, but okay. So we're gonna move on to the next one. That is hilarious. Toronto Cat says, you also went to Catholic school from grade 1 to graduation of high school. Yeah. Hi, Claire. How are you doing? Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next slide, guys. So the next one is nature versus nurture. While trauma significantly shapes these traits, some believe empaths possess innate sensitivity, which is then amplified and weaponized in abusive environments. And it says it's supposed to say says Business Insiders and YouTube. And in here, I just put a few little things for anybody who has dealt with a narcissist or any type of abusive relationship. I want you guys to know you are worthy, okay? And you guys are loved, all right? And getting out of an abusive relationship, you definitely question your worthiness and all those types of things. So, emotional and spiritual development, mirroring, they often internalize the parents or whoever it is, they often internalize the parents' projected emotions, feeling the parents' rage or emptiness as their own, leading to a deep empathy for suffering. Their desire to help. Having experienced emotional pain and neglect, they develop a strong drive to help others who feel similarly. Codependency. The sensitivity can morph into codependency, a coping mechanism where they become hypersensitive to others' needs, often attracting similar toxic dynamics. So then we go to survival and adaptation. Reading the room. Children learn to interpret minute shifts in facial expressions, body language, and tone to predict a narcissistic parent's reaction, a skill that becomes second nature. People pleasing. They develop extreme kindness and people pleasing as a strategy to gain approval and avoid the parent's disapproval, abuse, or abandonment. Notes. I don't know what that says, but anyways, hypersensitivity. Okay. The chaotic environment fosters an intense sensitivity and intuition as a way to survive, creating a sixth sense for emotional dangers. Okay. So, again, this helps to develop your ability, right? You're doing well, Claire. That's good. All right. So, that is that. Let me go here. Now we're into, again, if you guys remember the last slide, the monitoring spirit, okay? So monitoring spirit or demon, okay? This is what we were talking about in our last slide where I said we would go over the monitoring spirit. So I do have the
Mhm.
evil eye, I have the Ankh, and the cross on here, okay? Just because I'm gonna put it on there for protection, okay? But what is a monitoring spirit? A watcher spirit is a spiritual entity believed to observe and gather information, often portrayed in religious, mythological, and fictional contexts as either benevolent divine agents or malevolent spirits that spy for evil purposes. Gathering intel to hinder people's lives, steal blessings, or cause sabotage, sometimes called a monitoring spirit. In modern spiritual discourse, they are seen as spiritual spies or overseers acting on divine will in religious texts, or working for darkness and others, influencing dreams and exploiting weaknesses. This includes spell work, people using spells to cause you harm or disruption in your life, aka negative witch or dark witch. Okay, not a witch that can use. Okay, um, So there's a very big distinction. And negative witch and dark witch are pretty much the same thing. Okay. Monitoring spirits, very real thing. Okay, guys. I
We
experienced
just got rid of
just
one.
huh?
We just got rid of one. What was that, Thursday?
Yeah, we did just get rid of one Thursday. It got trapped in the garage.
It didn't get trapped in the garage. It was hanging out in the garage, so we didn't see it sooner.
Yeah.
Every time I'd go to my car, it was weird. I had like a detached car. Uh Detached garage, not a detached car. And every time I would go into every time I would open the door, I literally felt like somebody was watching me. That's how I don't know as an empath,
Well,
but that's how I know that one is around, is because I get that distinct feeling of being watched. And I'm like, there's
yeah.
something. At first I thought it was maybe like a little kid or something that was scared, because it was like I was like trying to figure out the situation, and then it was hiding from me. So I was going to the grocery store, went about my business, came in the house, and then did what I normally do. And I'm like, hey, you gotta go check the garage. There's something in there. She's like, what do you mean there's something in there? I'm like, I don't know, something in there. And
Well,
then
I asked you, I said, what is it doing? And she said, I don't know. It was either running away from me or wouldn't let me see it. Or sense it. And I said,
yeah, it was
so
like trying to hide from me. So
yeah.
then I can't. Then I she whatever. We always have protections up around our house
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff. And then um I went the next day, and it was like literally as soon as I walked in the door, it was like something was on me and heavy, and I was like, okay. So then I came back, and I'm like, nope, still there. It's not something great. It's not a child. So
Yeah. So then I went on to do kind of like I wouldn't say it's remote viewing, but it's kind of a form of it. So I went like in my mind's eye and looked to see what was in there, and I said, sure enough, it's a watcher spirit. And you'll see why we get them. Okay. We also have another experience which may freak some of you guys out when I tell you what happened to me, what, last week it was.
oh
Um
yeah. Covert. Oh, Laurel said a family member of mine that dabbles in the dark side sent one to my house one time because I outed the spouse for SA. Amputee
yep.
said that's a scary feeling. Covert said, what protections do you have or use? Covert, I would be happy to tell you in a message or something. I don't want to say it on here just because we get so much of it. I don't want anybody to try to figure out a way around them. So
Yeah.
more than happy to share. Maybe that's something we could put in I don't know. But that's
Or
my
you guys
reason
can
for
just
why I
you
don't. Or
guys
if you
can just
email her and we can tell
yeah.
you if you're interested or send you some
Yeah.
info. But one of the things I use is crystals. I can say
Yeah.
that. A
Do you
lot of
want to drop
crystals.
Can you drop my email in the chat so they can have my email? So, I mean, find it
Maybe.
on my channel, but if they want to write it down, it's
I don't
Becca's
think
True.
I can. Can I?
Just type it in.
I.
Um,
It's not
dark.
giving me like an option to.
No, just type it in so they can see it.
I don't have anywhere to type, is what
Oh,
I'm telling
you can't chat.
you. No, God.
Sorry.
I will be. No, just type it in the chat. Thanks. Thank you.
Opal says dark magic returns to sender threefold. Be careful what you dabble in. Yes, dark magic. I always try not to send anything back. I will always try to transmute it. That's what I always do, but to each their own. I always transmute it. I don't send it back. Let me type my email in quick. Give me a second. But the next slide is going to
Yeah, I get them a lot. There was one time I was sitting on the couch and I said, "What's behind me?" It's like, "What do you mean what's behind you?" I'm like, "There's something behind me. Would you just look?" And she's like, "It's fine. It can't get it." I'm like, "That doesn't mean I can't feel it watching me from behind me."
so
And
that is my email, you guys. I mean, it's the same as my channel name, but that's my email. So if you guys want a list of what we do for protection, but I have some in the next slide, you guys, okay?
obviously some of the things she has on there are some things you can use, evil eye amulets or
Yeah.
necklaces.
Um,
Um,
I cleanse my apartment, her apartment on a weekly basis. I also seal the doors with very specific oils. I seal the entryways to the
I
home.
said we're not telling people, and here you are listing off the things.
They can't get past that. They can't.
I burn incense, but those are all pretty common things.
Yeah.
Saging. I have like all of these bracelets. I use them for stuff other than protection, but like this is African tree agate. What are the
Hang
other
on,
ones?
honey.
It's
Let me fix
green.
let me fix my I'm gonna go off the screen. I don't know what happened with my thing.
Oh,
Give me 2
I
seconds.
have African tree agate. Oh, African phoenix, and then um green tiger's eye. Those are the three bracelets that I wear.
Yeah.
Um yeah, Palo Santo. I just love the smell of Palo Santo. Even before I ever even knew about this stuff, I was into essential oils a lot. I've always been into really like more not I have nothing against like Western medicine. I go to the doctor, all that kind of stuff, but I always like to try like I did a lot of stuff with essential oils, so maybe I was a witch or something in a past life, who knows. But um yeah, I've always loved. I mean, they like Palo Santo. I love the smell of it,
Mhm.
but I think you're also drawn to stuff that like.
Will
That's just
protect
my own
you.
personal feeling. Like I feel like I'm drawn to stuff that my soul just needs.
Yeah. 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 So as you guys can see, that just happened to my thing, and we are going to get into why, because the next slide is going to give you guys more info on how to protect yourself and how to realize what and when it's happening. So more people, and I forgot to fix that, Vern, I'm sorry. More people are into
Oh man.
more people are into witchcraft than you think. People will also hire a witch to do spell work. Okay. There are way more people into witchcraft than modern day society believes. So we have
Also,
signs of
not all witchcraft is bad. I do want to
no,
caveat that. It's not, don't think that the word witchcraft means everybody that does it is a negative person. It can be used as good and evil or good and bad, whatever, just as everything else. So we're not saying that all witchcraft is bad, just
no,
caveating that statement.
yeah, true. Wolfie, hi Wolfie, be right back. Listening, just gotta use okay, Wolfie. Debbie White says sometimes I use the sage to burn its to remove negative energy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have signs of monitoring experience often involve a constant feeling of being watched, reoccurring negative dreams. In these dreams, you are either being followed or observed, okay? And you will feel that in the dream or see it in the dream. Sudden setbacks or stalled progress before breakthroughs, okay? This is a big one. Even if you are not spiritual, nothing, okay? If you guys just think about it, anytime a person is going to level up in life, okay? Um, and it's going to make their life better. Again, we always have good and evil at play here, right? And so anytime you may be at that level up point, you may experience setbacks, and that is to try to prevent you from leveling up, okay? We have unexplained tech slash communication issues, okay? again, as you've seen, my thing just went, I have it literally, my computer plugged into my TV through an input, and somehow it jumped to Apple TV and went off the input. Okay. So again, that's
This
an
happens
example.
all the time.
That's just an example of, and that's because I was going to get to this slide here for you guys. Okay. Letting you guys see and giving you the knowledge that you need. Okay. And people prying for information without genuine interest, okay? Aiming to collect data to hinder your growth through gossip or manipulation. These experiences manifest as spiritual surveillance, causing unease, repetitive failures, or sudden obstacles to your plans, okay? Um, hello, Debbie White. Okay, Vern, if you can read the chat, I'll keep reading. Okay, so
Yeah,
these are some more of the signs. Feeling of
I
surveillance. Yeah,
can't
just
read the chat and you read your thing at the same
sorry.
time. We can't do that. Debbie White says sometimes I use sage to burn. It's supposed to remove negative energy. Yes. Blue lace agate bracelet can. He said. Gary said he wears it for burning feet. Amputee said Debbie and Gary hi. I heard that if you put cinnamon and bay leaves in your house, does that get rid of negative activity? Cinnamon is
Yes,
known to ward off. I don't know about bay leaves.
yes, bay leaves work.
But yeah,
One thing I,
Karen's gonna post the thing in the link after, so if you want to actually read through it,
yeah,
you guys
it'll
can have
be,
access to it.
you'll have access to it. I'll post it in the live, the link to it. Um, that is one thing I used to do when I was younger, not knowing, other than me pray, I always prayed. But one thing I would always do in my mother's home was I would always put a pot on the stove, usually a teapot because I always drank a lot of tea. And I would fill the teapot up with water, and then I'd either put a cinnamon stick in there or I would put cinnamon in there, and I would just be consistently letting it simmer, so the smell would permeate the house. Because I noticed when I was younger that it made the energy feel better and not so negative. And
So,
then yeah, and as I got older and then started researching it, I realized that yes, cinnamon is a protective mechanism. You can either burn it like a cinnamon stick, or you can put it in a water and let the smell permeate throughout the house. Bay leaf is a good one as well. There's some
that's what I
other,
meant by like where often you're attracted to things that you need and you just like the smell for in your case, you just liked the smell and the way it made you feel. You didn't know what it was doing,
yeah, what
but
I was saying.
I think that happens more often than people really realize.
Yeah,
I'm muting because
yeah,
I have
I
to
think
cough.
you're naturally drawn to things that are going to protect you. Um, so I'm going to continue reading, if that's okay.
It's your show. I'm just here.
Okay, you're not just here; you're part of the show. Okay, feeling of surveillance, a persistent sense of being watched, even when alone, or a heavy, oppressive atmosphere. Dream activity, reoccurring nightmares of being followed, watched, or seeing familiar people or animals like snakes, cats, owls. It doesn't, I mean, you'll know if it's reoccurring, etc., as watchers. Okay. Stalled progress, consistent obstacle or sudden failure just as you're about to achieve a breakthrough or elevate. Okay. Again, that is to stall your progress, to stall your elevation. Okay. A way to set you back. Okay. In life. Okay. Informative information leakage, private plans or details about your life mysteriously becoming known and used against you. And the informative leakage and people as agents. People as agents falls back into the narcissist, the inherited bloodline thing, okay? The the watcher, okay? People don't realize they're an agent for negativity. That's the thing. They don't realize they're being used. Okay. So the informative leakage, and then the people as agents, individuals who constantly pry, gossip, or act jealously, seeking information with on text slash communications, computers, or devices that disrupt your life. So if you notice, remember the last
Can
live that
you
we
I want you to reread that because I wonder if in the live or in the replay it's gonna cut out because you got pixelated. It keeps
Okay.
happening when we'll rewatch it. Like it's fine. I'll hear her fine while
Mhm.
we're in the conversation with you guys, and then all of a sudden we go back to like rewatch it, and like important parts will be cut out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, where did your audio go there? So reread that part because that was an important part, and I heard it
Okay.
get pixelated.
Text/communication issues, unexplained problems with phones, computers, or devices that disrupt your life. Okay. So again, I was saying, like, do you remember the live when we were going to start this series? And the last live, the first live of the series, I tried to do it. The live cut out, the first one cut out, and I was so irritated. And I was like, I know it's because they don't want this information getting out to the viewers. And so again, and you will experience that, especially if you are about to level up. Okay, level up in life, whatever it may be, wherever something positive is going to happen in your life. Okay, they will try to set you back. Okay, and they will use people who are close to you, and the people who are close to you, they don't know they're doing it. They don't know that that's happening. Okay, they're being influenced by negative energy that they don't really realize that that's happening. Okay, um or you experience all of a sudden, if you there's so many, I could talk about this for hours, but
But keep in
spiritual.
mind, if somebody is being influenced, it would be out of their normal character.
Right.
Like, I don't want you to all of a sudden take somebody that's been negative their whole life and be like, it's because of this. Like, no, they could just still be a crappy person.
Yeah.
But if it's like out of character for someone to be, you know, cranky with you or being rude, like whatever, all the things. But if it's an out of character thing that's happening, it's more than likely they're being influenced by something.
Carol, I'm just gonna look at the chat here for a minute. Okay, right there, you broke up. Kara Indigo says it did. Covert says it did cut out. Jamie says weird. Kara Indigo says uncanny, eh? And Kara Indigo, we are all gonna level up, I believe, who are here. Blessings and good vibes to everyone. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And Claire, what does it mean when your lamps come on by themselves? It happened to me a few times. Hi, Wolfie.
Um,
That would be you have a spirit in your house. Someone's trying to get your attention. If it is a
my
watcher,
TVs come on all the time. I
yeah.
ignore especially when I'm ignoring my
Mhm.
feelings. And I don't mean my feelings when I'm ignoring things that I'm feeling around my house. All of a sudden, the TV only in my bedroom will randomly come on.
Yeah, yeah. And then she'll call me and I'm like, what are you ignoring now? That's literally what I
Pretty
say to
much.
her. I'll
It's
say,
like, can you stop ignoring everyone? And then they would stop turning on your TV. So then
yeah.
hey,
Zach, I was just telling everyone that the series week, the live next week for this series, you're going to be on because we're going over remote viewing.
and Claire, you don't necessarily be scared. It could be it could be something that's not scary.
Right.
That was my problem for the longest time,
Mhm.
is that I was afraid. I'm
Mhm.
not anymore. I say I'm afraid, and I'm when I say I'm afraid, I'm just a really jumpy person. I was literally doing the dishes and my son walked in the other day and it scared the crap out of me, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I got scared."
Yes.
Um,
You have to literally,
but
like, you got to get like 10 feet close to her and literally make yourself known. You can't walk up.
do not walk up quietly because I
No.
will throw something.
I think we need to go over the chat because we got a lot in the chat. Um, let's see here.
Yeah, well, we got Zach said, "Hi everyone, hope doing good tonight." Claire said, "Really, that scared me."
That's the one you just
Christy
answered.
Davies said, "Hi Zach." Wolf said, "Hi Zach." Kara said, "Hey, you beautiful soul." Jamie, when you say watchers are the same as,
Black Shadow?
are they the
No.
same as a black shadow?
No.
Not necessarily.
No.
Not at all. Um, Zach.
Yeah, my babies are my ones with worried about you, Zach.
I have an orb. My living room camera picked it up. My lights would turn on all the time.
Mhm.
Laura Lynn said that. Thank you, Kara, and you as well as the rest of you are in here. Sorry, I can only hold on.
I'll read. So Amputee says, thank you. Kara, you as well. The rest of you. Jamie says, hi, Zach. Kara Indigo says, got the chills. Covert, your camera on your computer has come on a few times by itself. Yep. Kara Indigo, so exciting.
Kara, but Covert, let caveat that also could not be not. Always have like a sticker or something over your camera. That could just be somebody being weird too.
Yeah. You don't want to get me talking about tech because then my sister thinks I'm being like paranoid.
She gets a little paranoid
I do get a little
sometimes.
paranoid, but okay, so these are all high, Zach. Okay, and then Clover says you are hypersensitive that way as well, Veronica. Zach says sounds great, yes, and hi everyone. Claire says then there was another time after your mother passed and she really loved salmon sandwiches and you was making some and you had a tap on your shoulder when you turned around, nobody was there. Oh, that was probably your mother. Wolfie says, Becca, would you be up to doing a live with me, a possible card reading on a couple cases? Yes, Wolfie, I would be. Just email me and we can chit chat. My emails, you can find it on my channel, but
She
it's
put it in the chat. It's pretty much,
the same as my
isn't it
channel name.
Becca's Intuitive Tarot at
No,
gmail.com?
no, that was my old channel name. It's Becca's True Crime Tarot at
Oh,
gmail.com.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
There you go.
But okay, so now we are going to get, if you want to watch the covert, you turn around, you know, you got that way as well about the tech stuff.
If I didn't know so much about tech, I would be, but she doesn't realize that I have everything protected in our network. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Claire. So, like, what the heck did I just do the other day? A lot of times, for me, it's not physical. It'll be something that pops into my mind.
Mhm.
But and you don't always have to be scared of it. I'm afraid, like I said, I'm just a jumpy person. So the other day, I think you came over
Mhm.
and like I didn't hear the door open or something, and I walked in the
Yeah.
kitchen and I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing in here?
Yeah,
She's
you
like,
did.
I told you I was coming over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I didn't hear you.
Yeah, she did. I was like, okay. Okay, so I'll
That I
tell
was
you
putting in.
what's your channel, Wolfie. Shoot. I don't have it on this phone. Dang it. Let me see if I can drop. Hang on. Let me see if I can drop the link in. See, I don't have it on here. Wait. I hope I don't end the live. Nope. Okay. I can't put anything in here this way. I don't have it on the other phone. If you guys go to my post page, or Wolfie, just drop your channel link in the comments, okay? So people can go to your channel because I know you're trying to grow your channel. So if you want to just drop your channel link.
Turn.
So I should probably just tell you guys what happened to me. This was last week. And so I was laying in my bed, it was nighttime, and all of a sudden I heard this like little I have a window right above my bed. And I heard this like light tapping on my window. And I'm like, and it's nighttime, it's like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, okay, that's not normal. So I just lay there, like very still. And I'm telling you guys, not much. Let me just flip the camera around for a second so you guys can see my face and then we'll go back to it. Okay. So not much scares me, you guys. Okay. I'm not everything that I've gone through in my life, I don't get scared by much, okay? Including watcher spirits or demons or anything like that. That stuff it does not scare me. Um, okay, Wolfie. But so I was laying in my bed and I hear this on my window. And I'm like, okay, that's not normal because it's 11 o'clock at night. So I'm just laying there and the tapping stops. And so then about 2 minutes later, I hear tapping again. And I'm like, okay, what the fudge? Okay. But I said the F word. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not just going to sit here. So I jump out of my bed and quickly turn to look at the window. And I'm not kidding. It looked like a human being, full blown human being staring in my window. but then they darted off and ran towards the road. So I'm like, okay, well, that's done and over with. Okay. And my only fear is because my sister lives in the apartment above me, is that like and I don't know how to, maybe my sister can explain it better because it took me a while to believe, because how this thing presented itself to me,
You didn't believe me when I told her what it was, but
it presented as a human being, a legit 3D human being. Okay. And so then that next morning, I just was like, okay, they took off, they're gone. I've always experienced weird shit with people. Okay. People following me since the time I've been uh, very teenage-ish, going from teenage years up. Okay. So again, not much scares me. But I'm like, okay, they're gone, whatever. So then the next day I tell my sister, and she's like, because I didn't want, I honestly thought it was a human being. So then the next night, go to bed, it happens again. I'm like, okay, well, so then I told her, and she's like, well, if it happens again, you should call the police. And because it's legitimately a human being. I'm seeing,
thought I was a human, so
yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, if there's a human at your window 2 nights in a row, you should probably do something about it. Like, I didn't hear anything,
Mhm,
so it wasn't anything odd for me. And I
mhm.
said, call the police if there's a human at your window. That, maybe we should have somebody look into it.
Did your
Um,
link pop up, Wolfie? Because I know I
and
have.
for whatever reason, the chat doesn't let us see
No,
links.
that's because I have certain links blocked, and not your link, but certain things, because some people would come and put like links in my lives before, which would take them to like horrible, horrible, horrible sites. And so it might be right. I might have to go back and adjust the link setting. I don't know if you'll be able to drop your link, Wolfie, in this live. I might have to go back and into my settings and
I will
exchange.
put yeah, because I think when Zach was on with you, it wouldn't let me. I had to like type his. I
Yeah.
had to like manually type it in
Okay.
instead of putting a link.
Yeah.
So maybe type your channel name or something.
Yeah. Just type your channel name in. I think that is his channel name, is Wolfie9876.
You can put it. You can tag it in the comments after.
Culver says that would
I'll
probably
remind you.
freak, you know what, on a me. Well, I thought it was a human being. So, and
It did, and it
it,
did scare her because
it,
it's the only damn thing that would scare her.
yeah, and it not scared to get me, but I was more worried about my sister who, lives above me, and I'm like, nuggets and a pickle, you know. Um, and so then I put up curtains, and because I didn't have curtains on my window, which just me, I love to decorate, but I just didn't have my curtains up. So I put one up above my bed, and I'm like, okay, that should, no one will be able to see in there. So then I'm sitting in this recliner, okay? And I fall asleep, and then again it's around 11 o'clock. And the thing, it always happened at 11 o'clock. So then I'm sitting in my recliner, and then I hear a shovel scraping across the the concrete, right? Like, not scraping as if you were to shovel, but scraping as if you live in an icy climate or a snowy climate, as if you were to take the shovel and push it down and scrape it like this across the thing. And it went past the one window where I hadn't put the curtain up yet. And so I'm like, oh, I'm
Keep
just
in
gonna.
mind, I did not hear this.
She did not
I
hear.
did not hear this,
So
and
then
we're not the 2 windows she's talking about. I have the same ones,
it's just
so I
above
would have
mine.
heard it.
It's just above mine. And so then I just laid in my recliner for the whole night. I'm like, well, I know they can't see through this, where my recliner is. I know they can't see me. So I'm just going to lay in the recliner. And that's what I did. So then the next day,
I
I
for not calling the police,
yeah, I didn't call
but
the police.
then we figured it out.
No. So then the next day I said, hey, did you hear? I asked my sister in the morning, and I said, did you hear the shovel last night? And she said, no. And so then I went to go tell her what happened, and she literally said, she said back, I don't think it's a person. She said, I think this is a watcher's, a watcher spirit. She said, because literally the only thing that can affect you is, not joking, you guys. This thing presented itself as a full-blown human being, looking like a human being. But the only difference was happened at the same exact time every single night. They didn't once I put the curtain up, and when I close my curtains, that's another thing you guys can do if you have curtains in your home. When you go to close your curtains at nighttime, you close the curtain with the intent that no negative energy can come through, or evil energy can come through, or can even see through it. The audio just cut
Yeah.
out again. Okay, so the thing you
The
guys can do, I want to make sure you said the audio just cut out again. Thing you guys can do if you have curtains, okay? When you go to close your curtains at night, okay? Do close them with the intent that no evil or negative energy can come through or see through. And then those curtains literally become like a shield, blocking. It's the intent. It's the intent behind your action and the energy you are putting in that action. And that intention is the energy.
And you don't even have to go as deep as intention of blocking negative energy. I
Mhm.
do block everything. That's just something I developed when I
Mhm.
was younger, that like, and it was just with my bedroom at the time, but the intent that nobody can see in, living or non-living, and you don't have to be like fancy about it. Just
No.
nope, nothing's coming in, nothing's looking in. It's
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
a pretty easy way to do that. It's all about
Yeah.
the intention.
What if you have your window open a bit and the curtain says, yeah, if as long as you set that intention, it doesn't matter if your window's open. I mean, a human being would be able to come through the window, but not an energy would not be able to come through or see through. As long as you're setting that intention when you're closing the curtain. But so then put the curtain up, and again, they did not bother me through that window. They kept going to the window where I did not have the curtain up. And again, it kept happening at the same exact time at night. And then, and here's how we also know it wasn't a human being. We had gotten snow, no footprints, no footprints.
Also, the day, like a day before, um, a day before she heard the scraping noise, I was outside scraping off because we had just had like a bunch of melt happen. So my steps are concrete. So I was literally doing that, like chopping it and scraping it. And that's what made me think, I'm like, this thing is mirroring
Mimicking.
stuff I'm doing to try to learn how to act like a human.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it was. The only thing that made me worried was like me thinking it was human and it could get to my family. That's it.
Yeah, but that's literally the only way that would stop. And because a lot of what she does is in her dreams,
Mhm.
it stops her from, because that's when I'm like, how are you actually sleeping? Like, are you sleeping well enough to do what you do? Um,
Oh,
she's like,
creepy
no.
man.
I'm like, right there, it's stopping you from doing what you're meant to do, and it's
Yeah.
because you're worried about
Mhm.
me and my kid being hurt or something of that
Mhm.
nature. And that's when I'm like, so we had to do some extra stuff. And then do you want to tell them about um what Miss Mayer said?
Oh, you can no, you can tell him. You can tell. No, I'm not in the Appalachian area. No, I'm not.
So
My granddaughter was over.
yeah, I don't know if you want me to see your granddaughter or not, but
No,
she
I
was
think I've
over,
heard.
and I went down there, and she likes to come, and I'll bring her to hang out with me sometimes. And
Mhm.
like, I had gone down there and she got excited and stuff, and then she was like, "Auntie, can we go?" I said, "Of course we can go. What's up?" She said,
Mhm.
"The the man in the funny mask in the window is bothering me." And I said,
Mhm.
"What does he look like, honey?" And she
Mhm.
said, "Well, he just has a funny," and she pointed to the one window that didn't have the curtains. So, "Well,
Yeah.
what does he look like?" I said, "Can you see his face, or is it just," she said, "No, it's just a mask." And I said,
Mhm.
"Well, when you see things like that, you tell it, just go away. Tell it to go away, and me and grandma will kick its butt." But
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I mean, I believe that children have not been made to believe the things that we have,
Mhm.
and
About
so it
things
was
not
just
being real,
another
yeah.
step of
Yeah.
okay. And then when she was showing me this presentation, the picture with that she has of the monitoring spirit, I'm like, "Huh, doesn't that look familiar? Exactly like what Miss Mayer described."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and
Mhm.
we didn't talk. I didn't. My granddaughter's 3.5 years old, and I don't talk about this stuff, and didn't talk about that kind of stuff in front of her. Covert says, when you were little, you always had dreams. You were scared of UFOs, then coming and taking you away while you were asleep. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
Zach's still. Well, I don't know if Zach, if you're still in the live, dear, Wolfie's looking for you.
So, but bringing this point around was
Hmm.
that whatever was trying to get to her to that was the only way to stop her from
Doing what?
concentrating and being able to do what she's meant to do was to scare
Yeah,
her because that's the only way you can. And she's not going to be scared by a scary shadow or like you could just send a shadow in my house and I'm like, "No, I'm done. I'm out."
yeah, not me, not me.
It's like, "Chill out. It's fine."
And the fact that it was mimicking, yes, and we experience mimicking quite a bit. But I have
All
said
the time.
she experiences it. But yes, we will. She experiences mimic. I mean, I experience it sometimes, but she experiences it more. But again, that's her need to. She's learning to set better boundaries and things like that. But mimicking is never good. Mimicking is never good. When you experience a mimicking spirit or energy, that's never good, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera around so we can get to the next slide.
Oh, we haven't been finished, sorry.
No, we're almost finished though. Let me go here. Okay. So there we go. Okay, so it's the same slide that we were just on. And then the next one is spirit guides and angels. And this is where they're also watchers, okay? But they are the good watchers, okay? Angels, spirit guides, okay? In religious and mythology context, okay? Again, if you guys are religious or have a religious background, you are going to know what the book of Daniel is and the book of Enoch is, okay? But biblical watchers, Grigori, okay? In texts like the book of Daniel and the book of Enoch, okay? The book of Enoch was removed from the Bible, okay? But it is an actual thing, okay? Watchers are angelic beings who serve God by observing human affairs, sometimes intervening to uphold his sovereignty or deliver warnings, though some fell and brought forbidden knowledge. Okay. The ones that fell, okay, are the ones that work for the negative energy. Okay. And then you have guardians and guides. Other traditions see them as celestial beings, offering divine oversight, wisdom, or safeguarding humanity. Okay. So most of us, we're very familiar with guardian angels, and I'm pretty sure as kids we were all told we have guardian angels. Okay. Um, so sometimes you may be feeling, but you won't with when you have a spirit guide. And usually your spirit guides don't watch you, but sometimes they will, or sometimes, if you have someone who's trying to protect you, like say you have a family member who has a spiritual ability and they're trying to protect you, right? You may get a sense of someone watching you, but you're not going to get the oppressive feeling, okay? Um,
It won't feel scary, it'll feel like something familiar is around. That's how it
yeah,
happens to me.
yeah,
Um, I don't know, I think I talked about Alvin one time.
yeah. One time, you can
He
tell more
isn't
about Alvin.
he's not a watcher, so to say. I think at some point I probably sent out something that I needed help with and he's come, but he's now just kind of always around and he now protects me. Um,
Mhm,
we do a certain thing to the house to like clear energy and he's been like that was the other thing that made me think of this whole situation that was going on with her because the last time we did it she's like your room is like locked down. She's like
yeah.
Alvin's got it locked down. I'm like what do you mean? She's like it's never looked the way it looks right now. And I'm like,
Mhm,
well, the fact that my room is like that, all this stuff is happening. But
mhm,
so that's kind of an example of something that because at first I didn't really know what it was. I wasn't scared, but
mhm.
it feels
Alvin is one of her spirit guides.
yeah, so he's always around and I'll feel something familiar, more
Yeah.
so like than I'm being watched, but it feels like something else is around, but it doesn't give you a scary like what the heck like what the heck kind of
No, and
feeling. So
they will also let you know they're around, like turning on a light, to let you know, and
turning
you
on your TV.
yeah, they will let you know, but not usually in a scary way, unless you're scared by everything, like my sister. So,
I'm
um,
not afraid of everything. Okay, I am. Claire asked, "What do you mean by mimicking?" So, Claire, what happens to me very often, is I will hear my sister's voice
mhm,
say like, "Hey," and it'll like get my attention for a second because if you are
trying to block stuff up.
if you have if you have protections up and you have all the things that we do up, if something gets your attention for a split second, you can let it through,
Yeah.
basically, because our intention is no negativity. If
Mhm.
something gets my attention and whether I consciously like I won't open the door, even if it is her at my door until I say, "Hey, who is it?" Because how I know the difference is she doesn't say, "Hey." She'll be
No.
like, "Hey, it's your sister back." That is whether it's a phone call, she's at my door, like, I'm like, "I know it's you." It
Yeah.
comes up on my phone. But when I'll hear her voice and I don't hear that, then I know
Mhm.
it's not her. I'll hear the
Yeah.
same knock, I'll hear the
Mhm.
same voice tone. So
Mhm.
people and I think they do it because she's one of the only people that I, like, genuinely trust,
Mhm.
so they
Yeah.
that's what I mean by mimicking. So they may sound like somebody you know, or they may try to sound like something that's familiar, or they can try to sound like an animal, like
Or a
mimic
child.
right, like something innocent that you're gonna trust to try to help them or
Mhm.
let closer to you so
Mhm.
that they can get through whatever, whatever boundary you may have set up, even if you
Yeah.
don't know you have a boundary. You can be setting boundaries with live people too, like don't get close to me, and that still is going to apply to because it's the intention behind you don't want anything close to you.
Yeah.
So that's mimicking though. Think about like a mockingbird, how they'll sound like other birds. Same thing.
Yeah. Like a mockingbird, yeah. You cut out there for a second when you said that. Okay, so now I'm gonna move. This should be the last slide. It's just a little bit about protection. So prayers of protection, saging, smudging, all those things. Okay, so this is more into how they operate, the mimicking spirit or the monitoring spirits, how they operate. Information
You
why
just
more
cut
so
out.
why they're doing it, right? It's how they operate, information gathering. They study weaknesses to report back and block blessings, okay? Hindrance. Their goal is to delay destiny, cause confusion, and stop spiritual growth, okay? And then subtlety. They often work through people or situations rather than overt displays. The more you are aware of that, it's when you see it coming through a human being, right? When you sense that the human being that you're speaking to is doing something out of the norm, right? Especially if you know the human being, right? The person, right? And it's out of the norm for them, okay? Once you start sensing it or seeing it in living human beings, right? That there's an energy working through them, they're going to switch to more overt displays, okay? Like what they do with me or my sister. You're going to start seeing more overt displays, knowing that it's coming from an actual negative energy, okay? Rather than them going through a living human being to do this, okay? So I just want you guys to know the distinction. And that's because you are very awake to what is going, how they're using human beings, okay? Um, so just please take note of that, okay? So the more you guys pay attention to the people who are around you and being like, okay, this isn't norm, or you're sensing something that's off, like someone's trying to get information on me or do something, or this person's acting very weird, or all of a sudden, you know, you have something big coming up. Okay, we'll take, for instance, like I have my YouTube channel, right? Say you have a YouTube channel, okay? And you're about ready to release some like new information on something, right? Okay. And then all of a sudden, and that's going to bring clarity and truth to people, okay? Or help people in some way, shape, or form, okay? And all of a sudden you start experiencing delays, or you start, human beings people in your life will like try to prevent you from being able to release that information. They're not knowing they're trying to prevent you, but something is working through them, okay? So it would be like,
Just
yeah,
so, like, let's say she's doing a reading and there's something that she has done that is very close to the truth.
right.
And let's say, example of this could be like her nephew, my son, continuously trying to interrupt her to get her
Yeah,
attention while she's trying to edit the video and get it out. He's not
yeah,
doing it on purpose. He doesn't understand that that's what's occurring, but you'll like we notice it because we'll notice, like, we've been we I haven't been, but she'll be like, okay, no, like, I see what is happening here. And
yeah,
then once you kind of call it out, it
yeah,
goes away. Yeah,
yeah,
dog barking, like those kinds of things where
yeah.
something ordinarily that would happen
Hmm.
is preventing you from getting done what you're supposed to do, or is you're supposed to whatever. There's a lot of different things, but it can just be life situations, or we use the channel because
Yeah,
that's what something. But yeah.
yeah. You'll notice it, or like again, like the video
Hmm.
dropping. Like my babies are my one said. So like the video dropped last week. You said something about negative energy trying to interfere. Correct. And you'll notice that even if you're not into, and that's why my one video, my last, not last one, but the one where I definitely picked up the one for Jack and Lily with the since these new news releases came out, um that there's definitely good energy. There's like a legit like good evil energy at play here in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. And I said, I know there's some true crime channels who don't believe in any of the stuff that um I do or other people like me do. But that's where I asked you guys, please say a prayer for the other true crime channels of protection, because they're trying to get truth, and the channels that are bringing out truthful information, okay? And I'm not saying don't pray for everyone, because that's not what I'm saying. But um it will happen to anyone who is trying to, it's spiritual warfare. And then especially like people who we know with that we are trying to bring clarity to cases, right? And even true crime channels who are trying to bring clarity to the victims and things like that. All these people that they encounter, anyone who's done an evil act, okay, they have I'm just going to say it, a demon attached to them, okay? And it's not like a demon from hell, but it's a very negative energy. And then that thing is going to try every which way from Sunday to prevent the truth from coming out, okay? Um and so yes, I whether people believe or not, it's up to them, but that's where I say just say prayers for the other channels that may not take any credence into what I do or other people like me do, okay? But you will see that often in channels, especially true crime channels, or channels that try to bring truth and clarity to people, okay? So that's one way you can know someone, and they call that spiritual attack, okay? That's what they call it.
Yeah. Or they'll actually come and attack you like they did me. You know.
Yeah. Or they'll cause you to have nightmares. They'll cause disruptions in your life, and it's all to prevent you from bringing knowledge and truth and clarity to people, to humanity.
And it can be things like not related to true crime too. Like if you're just
Right.
genuinely a good person and doing good acts and spreading kindness, like there's always that battle going on. So
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
stay
And
strong.
it can apply to a lot of things, not just true crime, but um anybody. Anytime you're trying to help humanity or help people in any way, shape, or form, um, you're open to spiritual attack. Okay, so that's the end of the slideshow, the presentation. Again, I will link this um for you guys on the live on this video after we're done with the live, so you guys can have access to it and read through it. I will put a watermark over it just because I don't want. So give me till tomorrow to link it to the video for you guys, the live, so I can go put watermarks all over it. And it's not that I don't trust you guys. It's people who like to take information from psychics and tarots and create fake channels and try to scam people. Okay, that's the reason I put watermarks on my stuff, is because us tarot readers or psychics, we experience a lot of people who like to take our content, create false content out of it, and try to scam people out of money. Oh, thank you, Claire. I know I still have my Christmas decorations up, but I didn't get to put my Christmas decorations up until like the middle of December. And normally I have them up like a week or so before Thanksgiving because I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday ever.
I
And
got
so I'm
most
just
of mine down.
I'm just leaving mine up a little bit longer this year because I didn't get to
Mary
experience.
yelled at me. She said, Santa's supposed to be gone. I said, I know. I don't have a box big enough right now to put it. I have these like this Santa and this elf thing. Like I don't have there's like three things I have to put in a box.
Yeah.
So she goes and I said, Mary, I just don't have a box to put them in. And she goes into the kitchen and grabs an empty, like I drink a lot of seltzer water and she grabs and she goes, Here, we
Mhm.
use this box. I said, we can't fit them all in there. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. I love her so much.
So I do want to show you guys one thing, but I want to go through the chat first to make sure we haven't cleared. Okay, so we did that. Okay, thanks, Wolfie. Claire, we did that. You just subscribed to Wolfie's channel. Thank you, Empathy for Life, for subscribing to Wolfie's channel. We did that one. Bye bye movies. Yep, amputee. Yep. Yes, Becca did have a trouble with getting wrong cards last week. Yep. But that's the thing. I read energy, so I know when a card is not being, like, the energy on it is not truthful energy, and I know it's being manipulated. The energy is being manipulated. Toronto Cat, Christmas is your favorite channel too? Or Christmas is your favorite holiday too? Sorry. I love Christmas. And it's not for like the gift giving or anything. I just love Christmas. I love the joy. I just love the magic of it. I just love it. I've always loved it. I've always loved it. Okay, so let's see. So you saw like Wolfie, you are so welcome. Wolfie, my name is okay, Amity, yeah. Covert says, absolutely, Becca. Wolfie, you are getting into older cases as well. There's one case in Nova Scotia that's going for 67 years. Yeah. Well, that's older than me. 67. Okay. Thanks, Claire, for the fire. Fire. Thank you for your live. It was very interesting. Have a good night. Thank you, Claire. Okay. Just, Amputee, you
Or
love
they'll make you
fireplace.
sick. Sorry.
Yeah, they will make you sick. Amputee. Becca, I knew that it was the evil as you always spun on. Thank you. Covert, you two are so cute together. Love you both. Plus, you make me smile. Oh, thanks, Covert. Yours is Halloween day. My daughter loves Halloween. Oh my God. She's like got her house decked out for her. That's her favorite holiday is Halloween. She loves it. She loves it, loves it, loves it. But to be fair, my daughter loved that Tim Burton movie, Sleepy Hollow. Like that was 2 years old, 3 years old. Favorite movie. But my sister was the same way. Freaking Beetlejuice when she was little. Loved it. I'm like,
I
and that
love
scared
Beetlejuice and Jurassic Park. They were my favorite two movies. Like I was like 3. Then
yeah. Mhm.
I had to buy it. I'm pretty sure I just love. I think one of my spirit animals is an alligator. In
Yeah.
fact, I know one is because I have dreams with like this alligator that I'll just be walking next to. I had
Mhm.
this wild dream. I was in I didn't understand it until I started like telling her about it, because I still don't accept that
Oh,
I have all these different things that
yeah.
I can do. Um, so I write a lot of them off. I'm not saying that I don't believe that they're um true, but
Mhm.
I just don't accept them about myself because I don't believe something so wonderful could
Well,
happen to me. But
well, well, sorry, Wolby
uh,
says, "Watch Blair Witch, LOL. Won't go camping now in a tent." Oh my god.
yeah, I mean, there you go.
Uh, Toronto says, "I love you both as well. You are both so personal, pleasant, and authentic." Thank you, Toronto Cat. Debbie White says, "Mine is Halloween and Christmas." Toronto Cat, "You still have your Christmas stuff up on your mantle on your fireplace?" Nice. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Um, Amputee, thank you for this informative reading. Your granddaughter loves Nightmare Before Christmas. She is 7. Your son loved Nightmare Before Christmas. Loved it as a little kid. Loved it. Loved
He's
it.
still a
Like,
little kid. He's not that
I mean,
old.
little though. Like normal
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
you think would scare them. No, they just love it. I'm like, okay, well, so anyways, before we go on to your dream thing, as we were, and I didn't tell my sister that this happened, okay? And I don't want it to, I have to tell them so they know, Veronica. Okay. Um, but sometimes when you are clearing negative energy out of a place, okay? Like I called my daughter in, I'm not gonna lie, I called my daughter in.
You told me.
No, I know I told you. I know I told you.
You just
I
said
thought you
you
were
didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you until the later on that day. I didn't tell you
Okay,
what
well, I
happened.
thought I was getting more new news. I'm like, oh,
No,
cool, thanks. Love being in the loop.
no, I told you after the fact. But so to clear the energy out of the garage, the watcher spirit that was in the garage, the monitoring spirit. So I called my daughter in. I knew I was based on the remote viewing that I had done. It's not full. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think it's quite remote viewing, but it kind of is. I wanted to get an actual sense for what was in the garage and see what it truly was that was in there. Okay. And so you kind of have to, I don't know what for me. Yeah, that's what I more so do, and because I really wanted to get down to it and see what it was. Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is gonna take more than just me and my sister. So I know my daughter has some of the abilities that I do that I have. She just doesn't accept them. So I asked her, I said, "Hey, um, can you come over this day and I need your help clearing out this energy. Alls I need you to do is just project white light everywhere and smudge, as I'm clearing out the energy." And she said, "Yeah, no problem." So then the day came and me, my sister, and my daughter, we went out to the garage. I got everything ready. We each had our own sage. I salted the door perimeter. I say a very, very specific prayer, very specific prayer. I'm not going to say the prayer on here. Um, and it's literally like kind of chasing something around, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so then I knew my daughter could see it as well, whereas my sister, she feels she doesn't see. And I could see, like, I had cleared almost everything and it had gone to hide in the corner of this garage. And I said to my daughter, said, "Addie, I know you see it." I said, "Push it this way." And she just like, she didn't even hesitate for a second, even though she flips back and forth on her abilities. She's like, "Okay, mom." And so then she pushed it to where I needed her to push it towards, and then I pushed it out of the garage and removed it then from the property and from this earthly plane. And then again, I went and sealed the entrances with salt. Salt is another thing you can do. There's nothing evil about, or if you want to go to a church and get some holy water, you can do that too as well. Um, but then I sealed the perimeter, the entrances of the garage with salt. Okay, with the intent of no evil or negative energy, being allowed to come in or out. But when we were doing that, I will show you what happened to me. And I did not tell my sister because I knew it would freak my daughter out too. But this is what
I
happened.
am not so scared anymore, okay?
So this is what happened to me. I literally got scratched. You can see it on my arm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it was mad. It was angry that I was removing it. And this is what happened. I mean, I had full winter coat on, everything. I had
We were
sweatshirt
decked
on.
out because it was freezing that day.
It
I
was
was mad
freezing.
we had to go out there, but we
Yeah.
had to.
It was freezing. I had a sweatshirt on. I had my thick, thick, thick winter coat on. Still got scratched. There's no way I could have
And there's
scratched
nothing
myself.
in the garage that's,
Mhm.
like, like, there's nothing that you could have bumped up against, like, it's a nice open
Mhm.
open garage, there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
protruding.
no, it's a
I
very
mean,
well
anyways.
it's a newer garage. It's not it's probably, like, 10 years old. Um, but, yeah, there's no nails. It's a very well-built garage and, no nails sticking out or anything like that. So, I just want you guys to be informed that sometimes when you do go up against a more powerful negative energy, sometimes you will get scratched, okay? Especially now, I don't have 3 scratch marks. I only have 2, so that's a good thing. Okay, usually if you get 3 scratch marks, that is a mockery of the divinity. Oh my lord, if I could speak. Um, it's not coming out, Veronica. The Holy Spirit,
Divinity, divine?
the
I don't
divinity,
know what.
the divinity,
Okay.
God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus.
We, I don't get scratches quite as much as she gets scratches all the time.
Yeah, I get scratches all the time, but I'm
But
telling
she's
you, when I
also always dealing with, I had a dream.
yeah,
Okay, I have dreams, and they're very much. I told the one about the haunted house last
yeah,
time. I'll tell this one now.
mm.
So I had a dream, and was this before I went to San Diego or after?
Well, I don't know what stream you have a lot of them that I
The
wanna
one where you and my friend were in the water.
Yeah, speaking of which, Christy Davy, are you still in here? I think this was you in the dream. I really think this was you that she's about to tell. I really think that's when I told you when I said I was gonna start the series. I believe that some of you guys do the same thing that I do. Maybe you guys don't know about it. This was one of you guys in this dream, and it just presented itself as one of you guys. She didn't wasn't ready to see who it truly was. I'll let her tell the dream.
I still don't. Although I don't ever, when I have dreams that are in nature of what, like, my sister does on a nightly basis.
Mhm,
I don't. I don't see the people that are truly there because I think I'm afraid. So it'll be someone with a similar name
mhm. Or
that
may
I'm
look
used to in
similar.
my life.
Yeah.
And then, or it could be somebody that looks similar to somebody that I know, but that's who I see. So I was like walking along this path, and I had not been out to San Diego yet or seen
Mm-mm.
the beaches out there. And I
Mhm,
had been walking along like this ocean path, and I walked down to I was like down on the beach,
mhm.
and all of a sudden my sister and
Your friend
one of my
Chris?
friends,
Yeah,
who's Christy
yeah,
was the name.
yeah.
And I'm, like, standing on the beach yelling at them because
Mhm,
they're, like, the ocean goes from very calm to, like, this crazy black, like, storming water, and I'm like, "You guys need to," like, in the dream, I just kept yelling at my sister and my friend. I'm like, "You guys need to get out of the water." And
mhm.
I thought they were just, like, playing around, splashing around, having fun. And I
No.
ended up, like, throwing a lifeguard life preserver to my sister and, like, a life pole out to the other person, and I was able to get everybody back onto the beach in the
Mhm,
dream. And then I was telling her about it, and she's like, "You weren't dreaming about an ocean." She's
mhm,
like, "I had a similar dream, and we were battling something, and
mhm.
you were there. You were just off in the distance." I'm like, "Oh, so I just saw it as treacherous waters, and you're fighting demons in your dream. Okay,
Yeah,
cool."
yeah.
Like,
Mhm, yeah. And
but
that's the thing,
yeah.
we share we'll be in the same dream at the same exact time, and it happens. But again, if you have and I do think this was you, Christy. I know that sounds strange, but again, that's why I wanted to start this series, because I believe there are a lot of you out there that do the same thing that I do, and it's whether it's having a vision when you're awake or having a vision when you are sleeping. A lot of what I do is I remove negative entities, negative spirits from living people and from deceased spirits, and I help them cross over. The living people, I remove negative energy that is attached to them so that it's no longer attached to them. Okay. I and It doesn't sound strange to you, Christy. Great. I'm glad it doesn't sound strange to you because um it was, I mean, but that's the thing. When she told me about this dream, your name popped right into my head. When she told me her portion of the dream, I'm like, I think I know exactly who this person is. And but and not in a negative way. It means me and you, she was there helping, but I think she's getting better at seeing what the
No, I
reality
do.
is. But I think she's getting better at being ready to see what it truly is versus being
No,
fearful.
I'm pretty sure I had a crazy something last night because I woke up literally like sweating so bad
Mhm,
and so uncomfortable, and I couldn't tell you what the dream was about, but I just when I woke up, I knew because I was like exhausted, like I just
mhm,
ran a
mhm,
marathon, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm sick. I want to freaking like no. Can you guys leave me alone for a night?
mhm, mhm.
Anyways, it could
Culver,
have just
no, the
been a sick
scratches
dream.
scratches aren't always in the same place. No, no,
Never
mm-mm,
usually.
no, no. And again, it's no, and and you haven't met ever. No, me and Christy Davy, we've never met. Mm-mm. I couldn't tell you what Christy looks like, nothing. But her energy is what is what I have attention towards, and it seems it's familiar. Like I've encountered her energy before, not just through this. WA, you have trouble sleeping, and you are a light sleeper. hmm But again, that's what I do. I don't. That's just something that I do. It doesn't bother me. That and that's another thing. Like there was this one time, and I still don't know why my daughter second guesses it neither. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know what happened with my daughter. And when I thought when I had a phone call when she had to have an emergency C-section, and someone called me and told me she was dead. So, um, but prior to her that happening, she asked me probably about a week before she had a scheduled induction, and she was supposed to go in and be induced. And there wasn't a C-section scheduled or anything. It was supposed to be just a normal induction for her pregnancy. And she sat me down and she said, "Mom, tell me what you," she again, I still don't know. I still don't know why she's second guessing me. She goes, "Ma, what's gonna happen?" And she said, What did you see? What do you know?" And I said, "Do you really want me to tell you the truth, honey?" And she said, "Yes, ma." And I said, "Okay, honey." I said, "You're gonna have a C-section." And so I went on to tell her what I seen, and I said, There's gonna be this lady named Rachel, and I think she's gonna be your nurse and all these things." And then she said, "Okay, mom." So she does the, like, "You asked me, I'm telling you. Still don't believe me after you've asked me and I'm telling you." So then after all the hoopla with me thinking my child is dead, my sister's the one who drove me to the hospital. And that was the longest ride of my life. But anyway, so finally when I was able to see my daughter in person, um, I get to the side of her bed. She's still kind of like in and out of it from the being under the C-section. First word she says to me is, "Ma, guess what the nurse's name is?" I said, "What, honey?" "Rachel." I said, "Okay, honey." And she goes, "Ma, you were right." And I said, "Okay, honey. I just want to know that you're okay, dear." And see, and those are the only times that I can really get thrown off is when it involves people I love. And that whole ride to the hospital, alls I was thinking of was, like, the things that I've seen in my future, and even then,
I
like,
had to freaking
I'm like, "Okay, what
when
am
I
I
tell
seeing?
you
And what am I seeing?" I know I've seen the future with my daughter, so and I mean, but it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. And that again, that's where
shoot,
I can't agree with Malaya or Daniel or anybody in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case because I know what it is to think your child is not alive, and you have to see them. You have to see them. And then another time was what time was I going to tell you? Another thing that happened. I forgot already, but I'll remember it and then I have brain fog. I don't know. I'll just tell
we
my
have to
sister.
stop blaming things on brain fog.
I
We do it
mean,
all the time.
hey, I'm gonna be 42 soon, so be 42 in
Old. Just
February.
kidding, you're not
So
old.
so
I
I'm
just think she's old.
I'm getting up there. No, I'm not getting up there in age.
You're
Wolfie.
no. I don't know. You're
Still here,
only as old
Wolfie.
as you feel. I'm still like 20, so it's
I know.
fine.
I know. I don't feel, but
I'm not 20, but I feel like I'm 20. And
yeah.
wonder how I got so much responsibility in life. I'm like, who put me in charge of this? This was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Bye, Wolfie. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Wolfie, get in contact with me. I'll definitely do a live with you. Definitely do a live with you. There's another thing I was going to tell you guys. Oh, so another thing I was going to tell you about. So my daughter, this is when she was in high school, and um she comes home one day from school and she's,
Mm,
you guys still there? So she comes home from school one day and she's all sad and she says, I said, "What's up, honey?" And she said, "Mom," she said, "this boy at my school, he died." And I said, "Okay, honey, I know." She's like, "Mom, how do you know?" And I said, "Well, Mom had a dream." And then again, she goes to interrogate me. And I said, "Honey, give me your yearbook." And so she gives me her yearbook. I said, "This is the boy, right?" Okay. And I said, "It happened at the park by the pond." And she said, "Yeah, Ma, how'd you know?" I said, "I told you. I seen it, honey." And this is where I'm talking about where when people have negative or fear attached to them when they pass on, sometimes they have a fear of going into the light. And this boy, he was a teenager. I had to help him into the light because he was fearful of the light. And I'm not going to get into the whole story because you guys will probably cry. So I'm just not going to get into it. But that's
I'll
what I,
cry. I
yeah,
will.
you'll cry. But that's what I do on a daily basis, a nightly basis, daily basis that's what I literally do. I see it. I see the people, I see the energies. Um, but I just consider myself an intuitive and I consider myself a person who has a gift and there's something that I'm supposed to be doing to help human beings and help spirit energy and I do it. Amputee, you have a second grandchild and a grandson, 15, and your granddaughter is 7. Aw, nice. But that's where I said, I sense some of you guys are exactly like me, and you do the same thing I do. But I don't want you guys to ever second guess your abilities, and that's why we're doing um, this series for you guys, is to help bring awareness to it. But needless to say, with that teenage boy that happened to, there was a lot of other things that went into it, and I told my daughter, I said, "Well, there was another person present at the time of it, and there was rugs involved and things of that nature." And so, hi, Constance.
Hey, Constance.
So I explained what I seen and what I knew to be truthful and who I seen there with the boy, and it all came out in the future. Everything that I seen, it came out in a few weeks later. So I just don't want you guys to ever second guess yourselves. All right, you guys. I think
What
we're
are we
gonna leave
gonna
it.
do? Oh, what we're doing remote viewing next week with Zach.
Yeah, remote viewing. We're gonna touch on auras as well. I think we're gonna delve more into this seer portion, so people who are intuitive seer. Since this one we really delved into more of the empath stuff. I want to bring just as much clarity to everyone else, but the remote viewing too. We're gonna have Zach on um, next week for that live because he can give a more because he does remote viewing all the time. So he can give a better explanation of what he goes through, what he sees, how he does remote viewing, um, and all those things. So, Toronto Cat, good night. Thank you so much for everything you share. It's much appreciated. Love you both sending because thank you, Toronto Cat. Culver says, "Oh, that'll be awesome," and Zach will be here. Yeah, yeah. I've already discussed it with Zach a couple days ago. I already talked to Zach about it. All right, you guys. Good night, Kara, Indigo. You guys all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday evening or night. Okay, guys, I gotta end it
If
because
you
my
guys
phone's about to die.
if you guys want any info on protection, email her and we can get back to you guys.
Yes,
If
email
you
me if
want
you
some
guys
help, I
want.
just don't want to send it out to the
Yeah,
interweb
just
on all the things we do. So
yes, just email me. I'll make a document or whatever so we can send it to you guys. And like I said, just give me till tomorrow to connect my presentation to the live. That way I just gotta go and put timestamps on it. And again, it's nothing against you guys or anybody it's just purely for people I know will take my content and use it to try to scam people. Thank you, Christy.
you got to link Wolfie's channel too.
Yeah, I'll link Wolfie's channel too. Thank you, JB. Good night. Good night,
What's your
amputee.
email?
Becca's True Crime Tarot at gmail.com.
All right.
All right, you guys. Good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you
Thanks for
for
hanging out with
spending.
us.
Yes, thank you very much for spending the last 2 hours with us. People suck sometimes. Yeah.
You guys are
Good night,
awesome.
everyone. Talk to
Bye.
you guys all later. Bye.